Yeah, making his comedy debut in Worcester, this is Hursty.
Thanks. Hello. How are you?
Good.
Good. Thank you very much for having me tonight, because I know you've taken a lot of time out of your busy schedules, and I appreciate that. I hope it's not an entire waste of your 10 minutes. So, how are you? I see some nice fresh faces in here. What's the age range here, roughly? Who's the oldest? Easy question. Who's the oldest? How old are you? 17. And who's the youngest?
Not me, it's one of them.
How old are you? 13. Okay, I'm working out my language barriers here. So I'll be careful, otherwise someone's going to go home crying to mummy that I said a bad word, and we don't want that. But I see a lot of fresh faces here. I like this. In fact, to be honest, I'm quite jealous of how fresh-faced you are and how young you are, because I'm an old man now, I'm nearly 30, you guys are all at the prime stage of your life, you've got so much ahead of you. At the same time, maybe you're a little bit impressionable as well. I mean, you know, you're the people that made Simon Cowell famous, really, because I don't like him. But I guess you do. Somebody here bought a Joe McElhenney CD, didn't they? Come on, somebody bought, yeah, I know. I just saw that tweet, you're right. You've all made Simon Cowell famous now, and he's the man who, he can do anything, and you buy his stuff and you make him #1. He could wipe his bottom with a piece of paper, and you'd vote for that to be #1, and it'd be #1 in the charts. It'd be like, oh, now, on the X Factor, Simon Cowell's mural. It's time to face the Andrex. And everyone would be buying it, and I kind of blame that a little bit on you. But don't worry, I won't hold it against you. Technically, I suppose you are what we class as minors. And when I say minors, I don't mean like the Chilean miners who are stuck down the shelf for 69 days and down there for ages, which actually, I'd imagine you would have quite fancied the idea of, because you're not near your parents, you're out of the way, they can't nag you, they don't make you do your homework all the time, they don't intrude, they don't get in the way. You might have liked it down there. Okay, the only problem is there's no 3G, so you're not going to be able to get any signal on your iPhone, but hey, if you don't want what it's like to have no 3G, just go to Hereford, it's exactly the same thing. There's no one from Hereford, is there, by the way? The Hereford Canes are all going tonight, alright, no worries, good stuff. But you're all very lucky people, you're all at that really good, ripe age. Minors, okay. The other minors I mean is kind of minor offences, and no one's got a minor offence here if they're against them. No one's committed a minor offence here or anything, have they?
Not that we got caught.
Not that you got caught, okay. That's right, we'll keep that secret. You were kicking flowers, weren't you? You were kicking flowers.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I can tell. I do feel like Mr. Gilbert from the In-Betweeners a little bit. I do feel like I've got a few Simons and a few J's and a few Wills in front of me here. You've got a bit of a Will look about you, actually. Take a briefcase to school. For you. Yeah. Is your mum fit?
Yeah.
It's a Will. That's actually a classic Will, isn't it? I can spot it straight away. The thing I don't get about kind of being your age is what you do on Saturday nights. Because you're in that sort of awkward stage. When you're old enough, when you're properly 18, you can go out, you can have a drink, you can do what you want, you can party away, you might move away from home. But if you're a bit lower down the scale, you're kind of stuck indoors, you know, you can't always go out, your parents say be home by 10 o'clock, so it's kind of what do you do? And the only way I see it as a single bloke is trying to think back to that time now. How the heck did you pull? Because you can't go out. The only thing I know now is going to bars and chatting people up. I can't remember what I did before that, but you kind of can't do that yet. So what do you do?
We go out and go out.
We go out anyway, we just don't turn. But yeah, I suppose you kind of do it at school a little bit as well, don't you? You still sort of go out with people at school and that kind of thing, which is all great, which is all lovely. You go out with a girl you sit next to in class, and you sit next to each other, you can pass little notes across. Did you write that? Oh, lovely. And then it all goes wrong. And then you break up, and it's the chat all over school. It's in the canteen before you've even said you don't. And the worst thing is for you now, it's on Facebook, and it's on Twitter as well. You can't get away from the fact that you've been dumped. There's a little saying that us grown-ups have. It's about not, how should I put it, fouling on your own doorstep. Don't go out with someone in school, basically, as a lesson, because otherwise it's going to go wrong. It'd be like some of the signs that you see in the corridor at school. You know, you probably have a sign for, like, no running, where there's a black stick man like that. And there's a big red line through the middle that says, no running in the corridor. You probably have one for chewing gum as well, saying no chewing gum at school, where there's Actually, I don't know what that sign would look like, because it'd have to be animated, so you could have a picture of a girl with a hairband on going, and a big red line through that. And if you're going to have one that said no fouling on your own doorstep, you'd have to have the doorstep and the stick lady, you know, the ones who are on the front of the women's toilets who have pigtails and a little dress. And you'd have the stick man just on the doorstep. He'd just be about to let rip. And the red line would be through that. That's the sign you'd look out for. Just don't foul on your own doorstep at school. It's advice from me. Trust me. Don't do it. But so I don't get what else you do. If you can't go out on a Saturday night and Paul, what do? Do you do it in town? You know, when you go downtown for a Saturday afternoon, you do a bit of shopping maybe. Is that the place to pull now? I don't know. Does it work if you sort of try and do it in the shops and sort of that sort of way? So, you know, maybe you're in Superdrug and you have a look and you sort of see someone and you sort of come up to them just before they're about to pay and you go, hey, I spotted you by the discount fragrances. And I saw you pick up some dupe. Tight arse. Dupe! Or maybe you go up to a girl and you say, hi, I saw you by the female hygiene section. And I thought... No, we'll leave it a week, actually. I'll come back. Don't, not yet. So if you can't do it in the shops, you try and do it in the street as people are coming out of the shops, maybe. So they sort of walk out and just bump into them and say, hi, I just saw you coming out of Primark there. I noticed how you put your purchase in a Republic bag. Cover the purchase. Don't shop at Primark, shop at Republic. Yeah, it's all right. I swap bags quite a lot myself, actually. See this Fred Perry bag? T-shirts from Henny's. It's all right. So that might work in town. I don't know. You can, you know, fancy a drink. Bring your mates. 3 for 2 in Boots. Come along and join me. I'm actually 16. I could buy you a scratch card if you want. Oh, yeah. We could go and scratch together sometime. Sorry, it's not an STD club, is it? So if you can't do that, if you can't pull in town, what else do you do on Saturday? I know what you do. You play with your iPhones, don't you? And that's not a metaphor. You actually play with your iPhone. You get all the apps going, you sit home on Saturday, you're connected on your Bebo and your Twitter and your Facebook, and your iPhone is the thing. That's what keeps you busy on a Saturday night until you get to 18 and you can go out and pull. That's the main thing you've got going, so use that. I found a couple of apps on there actually that might be quite useful. Because when you're at school, image is everything. It's all about being cool. It's all about being with the in crowd. It's all about being with the good-looking group. But you have the good-looking group, and then you have the not-so-group, and then you have the munter group. And here's some advice that I can give you firsthand. It's all very well ignoring the munter group now, but in 10 years' time, when you're on Facebook, and you're searching for those people that you went to school with, and you find that girl who was in the munter group, I'll tell you something now, she got fit. Over those 10 years, she got fit. And the girl that you liked in the hot group, oh no, she's out of there now. You're going to wish you'd made the different choice. I had this at school. At my leavers ball, I went with a girl who was hot stuff. I ignored the munter. I wanted to go with the girls. Well, it's what you do. Oh, big regret. So I ignored the munter. I went with the hot girl. And do you know what? She came to the leavers ball looking like Liz Hurley. Looking like Liz Hurley. And now I'm on Facebook 10 years later, and you've got the munter who got fit, and you've got the girl when she pops up that I went to the ball with, who is not really Liz Hurley, but call her Hurley, who ate too many curly whirlies. She got a bit burly, and she's nearly 30. So I've ignored that. But these apps, they're actually quite useful. The one I found is called Are You Trendy? Or Are You Nerdy? Anybody else got that? Didn't think so. I always try and buy the popular ones, but it never happens. Some of the things I found on there. One of the questions is true or false. You might be able to answer this. Wow is more than just a word that means awesome. Anybody else know this? True or false? Wow is a word that now means more than awesome. False. Well, I don't know. There's a reason they're asking that question. I think wow is the new LOL. It's the new LOL. I don't quite know what it means yet. I'm still working out. Does it mean that you're just quite posh when you sign your text off? And you're like, hi, I'm William of Worcester. So that's why you put wow at the end? Maybe it's like a call sign when you're in town to meet some friends. And it's like, see you in 5 minutes. Wow. Waiting outside Wilkinson's. Is that what it's for instead? I don't know. Listen to this one. If a troll comes from under a fanboy bridge, I dangle flame bait to see if an obvious troll is obvious, then PWN them with an epic level 9 million Rolf copter. Which wasn't the reaction I was expecting. I was hoping to go, oh, everyone knows that the troll's obvious. What's that about? The only trolls I remember were the ones we used to shove on the end of pencils with big, long, pink hair. That's the only troll. See? That's the only trolls I remember. And now you think that's more ludicrous than when we were just talking about being done in by 9 million epic Rolf Harrises. So I don't get that at all. So if you get it, fair enough. But I'm done. Thank you very much.